This is Freedom Global News.
Good evening. You're listening to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Zahra Zanna. Today is the 10th of August, 2022. And now the news in full. The Joint Admission and Matriculation Board, JAM, has released the results of the recently conducted mop-up examination for 2022 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examinations, UTME. JAM released the results in a statement by the board's head of Public Affairs and Protocol, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, in Abuja today. Benjamin said the board had in place a user-friendly and simplified process of checking UTME results in line with its desire to adhere to the ease of doing business protocol of the government. He said the simplified process would also preclude the exploitation of candidates by Shylock business centers and cyber cafes that often take advantage of helpless candidates. In a bid to prevent the nation from imminent economic collapse, the Nigerian governors last month advised President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration to offer federal civil servants who are older than 50 years old a one-off retirement package to exit the service. To this end, Muhammad Sani Uba takes a look at this matter and files in this report.
The governors also advised the federal government to raise taxes across boards, as well as levy anyone earning 30,000 and above monthly. The governors made the proposal at a meeting with President Muhammadu Buhari in July, urging the government to begin implementation of the updated state
they retire by 50, they are still young and they are initiated to engage into businesses.
Considering whether as a public civil servant should leave civil service by the age of 50 and get paid off, I think I have the contrary opinion to that, in the sense that you can't express somebody that has been trained by government over the years, and at that age of 50, when he's expected to be more useful, he has wealth of experience, you now say, okay, let the person go away and you pay him off.
The Executive Director, Civil Society Legislative Advocacy Center, CISLAG, and the Head of Transparency International in Nigeria, Awal Ibrahim Musa Rafsanjani, lamented on the position taken by the governors.
We all know that the major reason why our economy is collapsing, it is simply because of the reckless looting, diversion of public taxpayers' money by officials in government, both the bureaucrats, the appointees, and the elected official. So to think that the solution for reviving our economy is by sacking civil servants who are above 50 years, I think it is one of the most idle thinking that anybody can think of.
Speaking in the same vein, an expert and renowned economist, Dr. Abdulsalam Mohammed Kani of the Department of Economics, Saadat Turimi College of Education, Kano, and the Executive Director, Physical Discipline and Development Advocacy Center, FIDAC, said the government should consider reducing cost of governance instead of retiring all federal civil servants older than 50 years.
Why can't we consider reducing or ultimate cancellation of security votes in Nigeria? Why can't we revisit the allowances, the DTAs given to the members of parliament, given to the ministers and other political appointees in Nigeria, at least by 50 or 60%. The second issue on tax increment across board, instead of increase in tax without corresponding increase in minimum wage. What government is expected to do is what you call expansion of tax net.
According to report, the Federal Civil Service employs just about 89,000 people, but will spend about 4.1 trillion naira on personnel costs this year from its 17 trillion naira budget for the entire country. It is not clear how many workers are above 50 years of age or how much goes to them. Muhammad Sani Uba, Freedom Radio.
Halilu stated this in a press conference held today at the project office in Kano. Halilu said in the project quest to help the downtrodden, vulnerable, and increase in food security and safe functioning of food supply chain for poor households in the state, the project supported over 838 direct beneficiaries since its inception.
A lot of people, even when they retire from civil service, they are going back to the farm because we are now seeing that agriculture is not business as usual, but a money-making venture. Then we are going to give intervention to lives.
The program, which targeted very poor people living below $1 per day and people with disability and physically challenged, will support them with crops, livestock inputs, mechanization services, as well as advisory and extension services in agriculture. And on sports, following the conclusion of the draws for the Confederation of African Competitions, Nigerian clubs have been handed tough fixtures as they hope to make it to the group stages of the continental competitions. Sunusi Shaibu Musa has details of this and other sports updates.
At a draw conducted last night in Cairo, the 2022-2023 CAF Champions League draw at Nigerian Professional Football League champions, Rivers United pitted against Liberia's Watanga FC over 2 legs in the first round of their preliminary stage. The Pride of Rivers and the Pondley Colts saw their chances of making it to the group stage of the competition halted last season by Sudan's Al Hilal, having defeated Tanzania's Young Africans on aggregate in the opening round. The winner of the picture will meet champions Wydad Athletic Club of Morocco for a place in the group stage. Meanwhile, Nigerian soccer representatives Plateau United clash with Gabon's AS Mendy in the first round. If the Just Bet side advance to the second round, they will battle with former winners Esperance de Tunis for a group stage spot. As the reigning champions, Wydad are one of 6 teams given a bye into the second qualifying round of the 2022-23 tournament built for October. Africa's most successful side Al Ahly of Egypt and 2016 African champions Mamelodi Sundowns from South Africa also go straight into the second round. The other teams whose first round are Tunisia's Esperance, who are 4 times winners, Democratic Republic of Congo's TP Mozambique, and 3-time champions Raja Casablanca of Morocco. Similarly, Para United will face Niger's AS Douanis in the second round of qualifying of CAF's second tier. National Bank Open to Sunusi Shaibu Musa, Freedom Radio.
The Global News opinions and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com.
Mata, yaya dai?
Sabuwar wayan Samsung Galaxy A73 nake son saya.
Samsung
100 million Nigerians out of poverty. The workshop, which started on 4th August and end on 13th August, would prepare the participating state on what to expect prior to disbursement. Meanwhile, the House of Representatives Ad Hoc Committee to investigate the petroleum product subsidy regime from 2013 to 2022 has summoned the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, to appear before it next week for questioning. Ahmed is to appear before the committee with all the documents demanded by the lawmakers relating to subsidy claims and payment in the period under review. Chairman of the committee, Ibrahim Aliyu, issued the summons at the continued investigative hearing of the panel in Abuja on Tuesday. Members of the committee had faulted the appearance of the ministry's Director of Home Finance, Stephen Okan, without a letter from Ahmed authorizing him to represent her. Abdurrahman Hamis Medina, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, a huge wildfire that has destroyed more than a dozen homes and forced the evacuation of thousands and is still burning out of control. France, like the rest of Europe, is struggling with successive heat waves and its worst drought on record. Dozens of wildfires are ablaze across the country, including at least 4 other major ones. The local Zoran authority described the blaze as rampant. Firefighters said more evacuations were likely. And with that, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team and I, Zahra Zanna, thank you for listening.
Freedom.